of the franchise. We just hit June. The draft is starting. You see the Orioles, Diamondbacks, and Rangers made their pick, and we're about to make ours. Now, I'm not very good at drafting players. I always think I'm drafting the right players, and they always end up being C or D or B potentials. But we need to get some pitching. Now, obviously, it says we're deep in starting pitching, maybe because we got a lot of guys in the organization. We don't have a top prospect, a potential guy who can come in and be our ace in the future. But we need one. And hopefully I draft that guy. But we're about to find out. So we got Gustavo Herman. He's 22. His stats are looking pretty good, but sometimes you can't ever go off these stats. But, I mean, I think Gustavo Herman's probably the right choice. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong on this, but I'm going to draft Gustavo Herman with our 4th overall pick. And I'm going to try to even it out, try to pick some position players and pitchers. But first base is really something we really need. Now, there's only one first baseman available. I mean, maybe we snag him. Second base is something we could maybe use. Third base, Key Brian Hayes got that on lock. Shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. We really could use a right fielder, though, too, as well. This guy's looking really good. Tino Cabrera. His stats are looking good. He can play all outfield positions. I know we need a first baseman too, but Michael Conforto is going to be a free agent. We don't know what the outfield is going to be looking like. So I'm going to take Tino Cabrera with our second round pick, in this draft. So now we go our 3rd pick. I'm going to go for a bullpen arm. We need some bullpen help. Our bullpen's also not really that great. But who do we pick? If I'm going off numbers, Luis Sanchez looks like the best numbers. But you never really know. I mean, it could be look good, but he turns out to be kind of trash. So, but I'm going to go with Luis Sanchez. Hopefully he's a good pick. And we'll see what we're looking like after the draft. So we go to the 4th round here. I'm going to pick another starter, trying to see who's really looking good here. Rich Perez is looking good. Andy Weinstein is looking pretty solid. I think we're going to take Andy Weinstein. He's looking pretty solid. Hopefully that's not a bad pick. We got 4 picks so far, 1 relief pitcher, 2 starters, and 1 outfielder. So we're going to go back. And that's second base. So this first baseman is still available. Greg Monahan. He's from Canada. He's 19 years old. His stats don't look like nothing crazy, but we could use a quality first baseman in our system. So I'm going to take him. He's got 80 potential. And we'll see if he's anything special. So this might be our final pick. We'll see. There's still some starters left. I might go ahead and take Walter Chin just because we need another relief pitcher, but there's also a second baseman available, Jermaine Green. And that's really it for the 80 potentials. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Walter Chin for our pick, relief pitcher, and see how he goes here. And that's our draft. So let's see how our draft picks are looking. Obviously, we're in 4th place in the division. Nothing really crazy. We're really still struggling, but we made some trades. We got Tyler Nevin. We got Trevor Richards. We got some pieces, not really anything special, but we made some trades. Kyle Nicholas, tough, really month of May. Matt Ekelman struggled. Matt Frazier played really well. Maybe he could get a call up sooner or later, but I mean, we've had some guys really performing well in our lineup. Travis Swaggerty had a really good year. The guy I told you guys before, look out for him in our developmental. Boo Sulcer had a really, or Bo. I'm gonna call him Bo. I think it's Bo, but don't trust me on that. Sulcer had a really good year, punched out 7 batters and 8.1 innings of work. And then we have Adonis Medina had a strong month. ERA almost under 2. So really, let's see how we did in the draft. And like I said, guys, my drafting is garbage. I got 1A potential, though. I got 1. But it's not looking good for the rest. It's looking really terrible. Gustavo Herman, I thought he was looking like he's going to be solid. He still could be, but we'll still sign him. Really, Tino Cabrera's the guy who really was a good pick. At least I got that one right. He's got the style and mustache. I mean, how could you go wrong with that pick? But 90 potential. Luis Sanchez. I mean, these guys aren't really looking like they're going to be anything crazy. I mean, I'll sign some of them. Andy Weinstein. Not going to sign Greg. He's only at 38 overall. I mean, maybe he develops into something, but that's going to be a long development process. I know he's only 19, but and Walter Chin will sign him. So we'll let Greg hit free agency, and we'll see how these next 2 months go. So we're going to sim past the All-Star break. I'll sim to June 30th or past June 30th, and we'll see where we're setting. So Matt Frazier out 2 months. He was really performing well. That sucks for our minor leagues. But we're on a little winning streak. O'Neal Cruz is back. We got a trade offer that I accidentally skipped. Sometimes I hate it when it does that. When it has a trade thing pop up right when you're about to back out. So that's my fault on that. But the Pirates, we need to fix our pitching rotation. Mitch Keller, we're gonna add him back to the rotation. Trevor Richards will make him our long relief pitcher. I think there was an injury, but I kind of missed it, or they sent someone down. Everything happened, so everything just popped up at the same time. Hopefully that wasn't too good of a trade offer. But we got a trade offer right here from the Yankees. Domingo Herman, who's 29. He's having a really solid year. He has no wins or losses, but he has an ERA of 3. He's 29, and they want David Bednar for him. Now, personally, I don't see that being a very good trade for us. Obviously, when you're starting pitching, but Bednar's been really lights out. And I just don't really see that being beneficial. So I'm going to decline that trade. I don't really see that being beneficial to us personally. So let's see what happens now. Have another injury, minor leagues. Roberto Perez out a few days. We'll keep him active. We have a guy coming off the injury. The Braves want to offer us a trade. So we have Luke Jackson, who's having a very bad year, ERA of almost 7. And they want him for Dwayne Underwood Jr., who's also struggling. He's been good in the minor leagues, though, ERA of 2.48. This is a very tempting trade, but Luke Jackson's 3 years older. He's about to be a free agent. Is it really going to be worth getting him when we know we ain't going to pay him? Maybe we trade for him and then trade him again. I don't know. I don't really know if that's really a point in doing that. So I'm going to decline this trade. 2 trades, but not really anything we're looking for. Roberto Perez is back to the injured list, and Ben Gamble's out a few days. So there's June. We're 9.5 games back, but we're only 6 games under 500. This division, besides the Brewers, is looking pretty weak right now. The Cardinals are only 2 games above 500. The Cubs and Reds are both struggling. So we have a chance to at least be a third-place team in this division. So let's see how everybody did. Austin Bryce had a terrible June. Will Mathewson really had a good June. Jamie Ritchie raked 417. Wow, that's impressive. Nathan Kirby had a 0 ERA punching out 6 batters in 4 innings. And Contreras had a strong month, an ERA under 1 and punching out 26 batters over 36 innings. That is really spectacular. Wow, that's actually really spectacular. He's pitching really well at AAA. Could be our rotation next year. So let's see how everybody's doing real quick after that month. Ke'Bryan Hayes, he's kind of been a little bit of a rut. He's been struggling. His average has dropped. He's only had 6 home runs. Maybe we need to move him out of the leadoff spot. Maybe we need to switch up a spot in the lineup. We'll see. Josh Van Meter's playing really well. He has an average over 300, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Brian Reynolds is continually having monster season after last year, having a really good year. Michael Conforto's been really solid for us. He's about to have a better year than he did last year. I really think he's going to be a good trade chip. Vogelbeck's having average-wise on a great year, but home run, he's got 12 home runs. He'll probably finish with at least 20 homers this year. So that's a good sign. Anthony Alford's having a solid year. He has his most career home runs, most career RBIs. He's batting .274, slugging over 400, OPS of 329. I mean, he's having a really solid year. Definitely impressed. He's still only 27, so definitely good for him. Michael Chavis, solid, not nothing special, but solid. He's getting the job done. He's not a franchise player. He's a solid guy who could play all over the diamond and put up solid numbers, and that's all we need. O'Neal Cruz is starting to play a little bit better. 5 homers, 21 RBIs. He's going to keep developing. That's our goal. We're not looking to win this year. We're looking to develop guys, see what we got for next year. Roberto Perez, again, average down. I mean, he's just really struggling at the plate. And Tyler Nevin, really been pretty solid off the bench. 250 average, 2 homers. I mean, he wasn't nothing crazy in the trade, but he's a guy who could play all over the diamond. Not all over, but most positions, first, third, left, and right. Ben Gamel obviously has a strained finger. He's having an okay year. He was kind of red hot in the beginning, but he's kind of cooled off. Tusapita Marcana, or Marcano, excuse me, having an okay year. Nothing crazy. Michael Perez, nothing crazy. And then Hoy Park, nothing crazy. I think we might need to send one of these guys down. We kind of have too many guys up now. We might send Marcano down just to get another pitcher up here. And he's not really doing anything special. So we'll call up another pitcher. Trying to see who that should be. Maybe Dwayne Underwood. We'll call him back up, see what we got. And, maybe he'll perform, better than we hope this time around. He struggled last time. So let's look at the rotation. Zach Thompson is bouncing back. His ERA is down under 4 again. He's starting to pitch really well. He's about to hit 100 innings. His overall went up to 79. I think it was 78 before. So he's getting the job done. Jared Eichhoff, again, he's already over 100 innings. Most innings he's pitched in 3 years. He's having an ERA under 4. Really a solid year. Brutabaker, 6-5. ERA is not great, but he's solid for a third starter in the rotation. Mitch Keller, still struggling. We put him back in the rotation because there was an injury. I'm pretty there's an injury. It might be time to send him down. Maybe give someone else a shot. Bryce Wilson, pretty bad, but he's a fifth starter. You don't expect too much. And then we have Anthony Banda. ERAs went down. He gave us 82 innings out of the bullpen. He's really been a good innings eater out of the pen. Trevor Richards' ERA went down. It's getting better. It was at like 6, so it's under 5 now. Heath Henbury, excellent season so far. Aaron Fletcher, excellent season so far. Chris Stratton continues to struggle. Dwayne Underwood Jr. has only pitched 4 innings. He has an ERA over 10, but maybe he can get that down a little bit. John Curtis starting to pitch a little bit better. His ERA was at 6. Now it's at 4.41. And Bednar, 22 out of 24 saves. Really good year so far. So we'll see how that goes, but let's see if there's anybody in the minor leagues that's really pitching well that we can kind of call up. This guy continues to pitch well, and I'm debating, should I give him an opportunity to pitch the major league level? 20 years old. Should we give him a Juan Soto, Bryce Harper type shot and let him come up to the major leagues at 20, 19, 21 years old like some of them guys? I think we're about to do it. I think it's worth it, and we'll see how he performs. Obviously, Mitch Keller needs to just reset, revamp. So we're going to add him to our rotation, see how he performs. He was a young guy out of Venezuela, Andres Alfonso. Now, Mitch Keller, hopefully he can get it together in the minor leagues. He's still young. Maybe he just needs a reset, like I said. Some guys need that. And maybe he'll start pitching well, and maybe the other guy will struggle, and he'll get back up. But for now, we're going to let Andres Alfonso pitch out of the bullpen, or not the bullpen, excuse me, the starting rotation, major league level. We're going to see how he does. And maybe he'll become not an ace, but a good second, third starter out of the bullpen. But we're going to sim July All-Star break, trade deadline. We're going to see if we get any good offers. We're going to see how our team is. Maybe our team, we're setting 600. Maybe we have a good month, and maybe we buy at the deadline. Maybe we try to make a little run. We're about to see, but here we go. Let's see how our team performs here in July. So far, not good. We just got swept against the Brewers. Not good so far. Obviously, we had to send someone down. Trying to see who that is. I accidentally skipped over that. I think it's all good. I think it was just a pitcher that wasn't really doing much. Yeah, it was Will Crow. He got sent down. And I might call him back up and send Dwayne Underwood Jr. down. There we go. I fixed that. I was confused for a minute. My bad, guys. So we're good now. Will Crow's back up. I know he's only a 61 overall. You guys are probably saying, why is there a 61 overall? He's pitching well. He's got an ERA under 2. He's pitching better than Dwayne Underwood Jr. is. So he's going to have a spot for now. So we're struggling. We're trying to get our team together. Anybody on the waiver wire that interests some young guys but deep potential, nothing really special. So let's get back to sim in July. I know there's going to be some stopping with trades and stuff and injuries. So the Yankees want to offer us Miguel Andujar, who's only 27. For Anthony Alford, who's only 27. This is an interesting trade because Miguel Andujar is a guy a lot of people have been wanting out of New York. I know he's struggled. He hasn't really gotten a lot of playing time. He had a really good year in 2018. He's still only 27. Is he a guy we should take a flyer on? Now, Anthony Alford's had a good year. He's really played well. He's had 8 homers, 28 RBIs. It's kind of an even trade. Both guys, really guys that could be flyer taking guys. I mean, it's really a tough trade to see if we should make. Obviously, Andujar has 2 more years till free agency. Alford has 3 more years till free agency after this season. I'm tempted to make this trade, but Anthony Alford is having a really good season. But Miguel Andujar is not a guy. Maybe a change of scene. They're both having really good years. Not really good years, but for their standards, solid years average wise. You know what? I'm gonna do this trade. I'm gonna give Miguel Andujar a shot in left field. I know some might question why would you trade Anthony Alford when he's having that good of a year, but Miguel Andujar is just a guy. Like I said, maybe a change of scenery will get him going, and he will become an everyday left fielder, or he could play first, third base. It's really a trade that could benefit both sides, and you don't see them trades very often. But that's a trade I had to make, not had to make, but I do want to make, and we'll see how our team performs. The Tigers want to offer us a deal. They're offering us Jackson Joby, who's 19B potential, 69 overall, and he continues to go for David Bednar. Wow. This is a very tempting trade because this guy's only 19 years of age. He's a 69 overall. He's going to keep getting better. We don't have a lot of good starting pitching. And David Bednar's his ERA's went up a little bit this month. He's blown 1 more save. He has 1 L, one extra L. He was 0-1, now he's 0-2. This is a very tough trade because we do need an extra starter, but I think our rotation right now has been pretty solid. He could be a guy we put in the minor leagues, and maybe by the time he's 22, could be really a go-to starter. Man, this is a good trade from the Tigers side. They do need a closer. Their best closer is Gregory Soto, who's only a 68 overall. He's struggled, so it would make sense for them, and it does make sense for us, technically, from a prospect standpoint. We don't have a lot of starting pitching prospects to really look forward to and to really have. So I'm gonna do this trade. I know I'm doing a lot of trades, but they're trades that benefit our team, and this is a trade I see benefiting us right now. Now, I know you guys are gonna say, well, who's gonna be the closer? And that's a good question. We're about to figure that out. I don't really know who will be the closer because there's a lot of. I'm gonna call up Austin Bryce. And really the closing spot, we don't really have. I mean, Heath Henbury, I think we should make him the closer because he's had such a good year. He's a veteran guy. He knows how to kind of pitch in them situations. So we're going to make Heath Henbury the closer. We're going to call up Austin Bryce, see how he does out of the bullpen. But, I mean, that I didn't want to trade Bednar, but Jackson Joby he's really going to develop into something special, I think. I think he's going to be possibly a starter next year or a long relief pitcher. And let's make sure he's in that rotation in the minor leagues. Give him the innings. We'll give Yajuri some time in the bullpen, even though he's pitched pretty solid. And Mitch Keller's pitching solid in the minor leagues. So hopefully this keeps up. His overall's going up. So that's good. But we really made 2 trades that benefit our club. And hopefully there's more to come because we really are kind of getting ready for next year. Not really trying to do too many trades, but trying to get ready. Now they're offering us Shane Green, the Dodgers. Shane Green, who's not even pitching at the big league level. He's been lights out of the minor leagues. For our new closer, Heath Henbury. They're about the same age. I'm not going to do that trade because I just don't really see the point. If I'm going to trade Heath Henbury, I'd kind of want to get at least someone younger for him, especially with the year he's having. But that's an interesting trade, and we have a big trade. Taylor Rogers gets traded to the Rockies for Zach Veen, Robbie Martin, and Sam Weatherly. The Twins get a huge package for him. The Rockies looking like they're going for it. That's an interesting trade. We got the All-Star break going on, and it's really, let's see how, since the All-Star break, let's see how League Leaders is going. Let's check this out. Starlin Marte leads in batting average. He has a 344 average. What a year he's having. Freddie Freeman's having a monster year. Still crazy on the Dodgers. Alex Kirilloff is on the Padres. Wow, he got traded. I did not know that. Not in real life, but in the franchise. Brian Reynolds having a monster year. He's fourth in average, 14 home runs. Ketel Marte leads in hits. Donovan Solano leads in at-bats. Brian Reynolds leads in doubles, 35 doubles. He's leading Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman. Fernando Tatis Jr. leads in triples. The guy is just unbelievable. He also leads in home runs, 27 home runs already, and a 311 average. Nolan Arenado with 26. Both just monster of players. He leads in RBIs, runs, stolen bases. Trey Turner, not surprising. That guy can fly around the bases. Freddie Freeman leads in walks and on-base percentage. Slugging is Fernando Tatis Jr., OPS. And then on the pitching side, Clayton Kershaw leads the National League in wins. Saves is Edwin Diaz, who glad to see him doing well on the Mets now. Max Scherzer leads National League in ERA 1.73, and Jack Flaherty second in ERA. Really both having monster years, 13 and 2. That's a Cy Young type year. Home runs allowed, Zach Davies. Shutouts, David Peterson from the Mets. Strikeouts, Corbin Burns, not surprising. Complete games, also Corbin Burns. Innings pitched, Max Scherzer, that's not surprising either. Walks allowed, Pablo Lopez, who in real life has been dominant. Whip, Max Scherzer. Pitching war, Max Scherzer. And batting war is Fernando Tatis. So let's go with the American League. Mike Trout leads in average. Hits, Jonathan Scope. At-bats, J.P. Crawford, who's really became a good player for the Mariners. Akil Baddoo is leading in doubles. Mike Trout leads in triples. Jonathan Scope leads the American League in home runs. Wow, that's not something I expected. 26 home runs. And Ryan Mountcastle is second in home runs with 26. And then Javi Baez. RBIs, Eloy Jimenez. Mike Trout leads in runs. Stolen bases is Miles Straw. Base on balls is Miles Straw. On base percentage, Mike Trout. Slugging, Mike Trout. OPS, Mike Trout. He's running it all. Shohei Ohtani, not surprising. 12 and 3 with the ERA. Wow, he's having a monster year. Jose Urquidy, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Only 2 losses. Saves, Scott Barlow. Shohei Ohtani leads in the ERA so far, and home runs allowed. Shutouts. Jose Urquidy leads in home runs allowed. Shane Bieber leads in shutouts. Strikeouts, Ohtani. Complete games, Verlander. Innings pitched, Ohtani. Walks allowed, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Urquidy's having a really good year. Leads in whip. Pitching war, Angel, Mike Trout, and Angel, Shohei Ohtani in pitching war. So that's how it is about halfway through the season. So let's go ahead and see how this month ends. We're going to be getting a lot of trades, so let's see if we get any good offers. Drew Steichen-Rider. Solid year. He's 31 for J.D. Brutabaker, who's not really been too great. Not really a trade I really am interested in. Kind of a veteran guy we don't really need. Yankees, Clay Holmes for Michael Conforto. Clay Holmes was with the Pirates for a few years. He's having a good year. Michael Conforto, obviously, he's out 2 months with a torn calf. I must have accidentally skipped through that as well because I didn't even realize he was out that long. That's unfortunate for us. We might need to call up another outfielder. Let's see if we have any on the 40-man. I'm going to call up Swaggerty. And it looks like have too many. I'm trying to decide which one I want to send down real quick. We have a lot of pitching. Looks like we have a lot of... So we need to place Michael Conforto on the DL. Okay. I must accidentally skip through that. Sometimes stuff happens so quick. So we have the injured list. Michael Conforto. Move to 60-day DL. Boom. There we go. And then we can put Ben Game on the outfit. Okay, we're good to go. Sorry about that, guys. So let's go and see what is another trade. Blue Jays, Yimi Garcia, who's one of my favorite relief pitchers. He's really been pretty consistent. For Chris Stratton. And really kind of both 31, both around the same overall. I think I'm going to do that trade because Yimi Garcia is having a better year. I'm surprised they offered that trade. Mets, Joey LaCasey for Roberto Perez. Wow, this is... Now, Henry Davis. Obviously, he's in single A. He's developing. Do we call him up right now and let him and Michael Perez both platoon? Definitely a possibility. I'm definitely considering doing that. And Joey LaCasey, is he a guy? we put in the rotation right now. Maybe he's only pitched 2 games. He's in the minor leagues, or he's been hurt, actually, it looks like. But I think this is a trade we do. We get a young starting pitcher, and we're going to have to send someone down, obviously, from our rotation. And it might be Bryce Wilson, unfortunately. He's just not really been too great. Everybody else. Actually, I'm going to send down Andres Alfonso and call back up Bryce Wilson because Andres Alfonso's really struggled for us. And I'm going to call up Henry Davis. I know some of you guys might think, man, it's awfully early to be calling up a 22-year-old, but we're developing talent. We got to get these guys developed and let him play. Him and O'Neal Cruz both can develop this year, kind of get that major league experience and see how it goes. I mean, instead of platoon, we're going to let him play every day. Every day, he's already a solid defender. We're going to let him develop his power and contact skills. And we're giving him the Bryce Harper treatment where he ain't even going to play that much in the minor league. He's going to come right up and play. And we'll see how it goes. I love the Joey LaCasey trade. We trade a rental catcher for a guy who can be in the rotation. And we're going to put him right in there in the rotation. And Bryce Wilson will go back in the rotation in the 5. And Yimi Garcia, another guy we got in the trade. He's signed another year after this, so he's a guy we kind of have either as a trade chip or a guy we can kind of keep for next season as well. So that's a good trade. So we got a few more days left. Let's see what happens. David Price for Heath Henbury. I don't see the point in doing that. David Price, I'm a huge David Price fan, but he's going to keep dropping overall. I don't see the point in doing that trade. The Mariners offering us Casey Sadler for J.D. Brutabaker. J.D. Brutabaker has been a very popular trade chip, I see. He's been getting a lot of offers. I'm not really interested in that trade necessarily. The Angels are interested in offering you a trade. Reed Detmers for Michael Chavis. And the guy who threw a no-hitter the other day, he's having a solid minor league. Definitely would help us out because it would add us another starter for the future. And we really got a lot of starters in the future we can go to if we make this trade. And Michael Chavis, he's having a solid year, but he's not irreplaceable on our team. I'm going to do this trade. I've traded a lot of guys, but we're really getting trades that you would not expect to get. Now I'm going to send Reed down to AAA and call up. Let's see, who's been performing good to get called up now? Sasugo, he could be a guy kind of call up. I mean, maybe we just bring back this guy, Marcano, and let's see who we could have play second base. Hoy Park, obviously he's been struggling. I'll let Marcano play. I'll let him play every day and see what we got in him. I know he struggled before, but I mean, maybe we got something going with Marcano we're about to see. But I mean, there's not really much other options at second base we can really go to. So that's another good trade. Let me go down and add him to the rotation real quick in AAA. And he might be another guy by next year. We really make... I mean, we got 3 guys right here. Mitch Keller, obviously he struggled, like I said before, but he could be a guy next year, could really get it back in the rotation. Medina's a guy who's developing. He's having a good year in AAA, ERA under 3. Contreras, another guy, 22. He's having a good year. Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers is having a solid year. Not the best year, but he's developing, and that's what you want from young guys. And then Jackson Joby's having a solid year. Definitely a trade worth doing. So really, we got all 5 of these guys. If we want to get rid of some of the guys who aren't really performing, we can give these guys a shot next year. So it's really a good thing. So let's go ahead and send the last day of the trade deadline and see if we get any offers. The Rays, Taylor Walls for Jared Eichhoff. And he's having an okay year. He's 25, but I mean, do we put him in that second base role? I mean, we could send, I think Medina, isn't that his name? Yeah, Medina. Or let me check real quick. Yeah, Marcano, excuse me. I said Medina. Marcano, I mean, he's playing not really great. We could send him back down, get Taylor Walls. Eichhoff is having a really solid year, but he's not a long-term piece. And maybe we call up one of these young guys to take his spot, give him a shot in the rotation. I think it's a trade we do. It's a really good trade. Obviously, Taylor Walls could, like I said, be our second baseman. And the question is, who do we call up to be our other starter? Now, Alfonso, we gave him a shot. He struggled. I mean, I don't know about calling him back up. Jackson Jobe, he's only 19. It's kind of early. Mitch Keller, I'm going to call him back up and give him another shot because it's a spot opening for him. And it's a guy we really could maybe rely on this second half of the season to give us some innings, see how it goes. So we'll see how that goes. And then second base, like I said, Taylor Walls, we'll see what we got in second base. So Taylor Walls, really good. He's only 25. He's not having the best year, like I said, but he's a guy we could really maybe make our everyday second baseman. Then we got to fix our rotation, it looks like, or something. Yeah, something's messed up. But let's see how everybody did these next 2 months or the last few months. Brian Hayes, still nothing special this year, but he's developing. I know I said I'd take him out of that leadoff spot, but I'm still letting him develop and see if he can kind of be our leadoff hitter. Josh Van Meter having a really solid year. Brian Reynolds, really solid year. He could be possibly our MVP this year. He probably is our MVP this year, not possibly he is. Ben Gamble kind of went back down to earth, not really having a great year now, kind of struggling. Daniel Vogelbeck, 17 bombs. He's really having a kind of a better year than the last 2 years in Milwaukee. Miguel Andujar, he's having a solid year. The average went down just a little bit. He was at 272, so not really too much of a difference. He's still playing solid. O'Neal Cruz, 11 home runs. He's really starting to develop that power. And that's a good sign because by next year, he could be really a guy who hits 20 home runs. He could hit 20 home runs this year. Really, he's got about 2 more months to hit. So, I mean, he could definitely hit there. Henry Davis, 1 for 11 to start off his career. But we're going to give him the time. We're not going to shake his confidence and send him down just yet. And then Taylor Walls, okay so far. Tyler Nevin, solid for a bench bat. He's had 84 at bats, so he's really played a lot. Swaggerty's having a good. I know he's 1 for 3 in at bats, so it's a small sample size, but it's good to see him at least get his first major league hit. Michael Perez is actually playing pretty solid. He's got a 277 average. Hoy Park's been struggling, so that's how our lineup's been doing. And then we have Zach Thompson, really solid year, 7 and 8. He has an ERA under 4. Mitch Keller, still probably struggling. I can't really tell. The ERA is still about where it was at, so it looks like he's kind of been still struggling. JD Brutabaker, pretty much where his career averages are. He's giving us innings. A lot of teams seemed like they were interested in him, but there was really no trade that I just went, man, I have to trade him right now. Joey LaCasey, pitching well, has an ERA of just 2. I think he's played 1 game for us, and we got him in the trade. Bryce Wilson, 5th starter, kind of what you expect. And Anthony Bandas, ERAs went up, but he's really been a great relief pitcher to give us innings. Trevor Richards has been solid since we got him. Austin Bryce has been solid. I know he's only pitched 4 innings, but he's been solid. Aaron Fletcher's been good all year. Will Crow's been good all year as well. And then Yimi Garcia's been solid since we got him. And John Curtis is, like I hoped, has finally started pitching like the John Curtis that looked like he was with in Tampa Bay and last year. I think he was with the Marlins last year. And Heath Henbury, 5 for 6 in saves, so he's really been good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 2 of the franchise. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.